Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about my FG Mini Sparrow and some setup and general modifications that I've made. Now, probably the first thing you'll notice is that it's painted purple. The wing is just painted plain purple. All purple. It has a stripe on here so that I can tell which orientation it's in, which is quite useful while flying it. Fuselage is painted this kind of spotty purple. And you can also see there's an albatross on there, matching with my logo. The reason why it's sort of this splotchy purple is the fact that when I was painting on the albatross, I got a little bit splotched over here, and then I decided, well, why not? Let's just make the whole fuselage that color. And it worked out pretty well, actually. So the next thing, this might not be quite as obvious, but I actually used the twin Sparrow plans. They are actually designed to be also used as a single motor pusher, but these are the twin Sparrow plans, so there's a removable nose, and a few other additional features such as just general reinforcement in some areas of high use. Okay, so the next thing is, you might have seen this, or you might have not, but this is actually a normal power pod. Now, for the Mini Sparrow, you're actually supposed to glue the power pod in, glue a special power pod in. This one is just a regular old power pod, using barbecue skewers on the side to hold it in. They do say you shouldn't do that, but I didn't see any problem with it, and I haven't had any problems with it, despite my flying it probably for about 30 minutes in total so far. Now, inside you can see all my electronics. Now, one thing in particular that I wanted to point out is I actually had to make an ESC extension, because although my battery lead would have reached in here, I didn't want to have to take the wing off every single time to plug in a battery, because the advantage of removable nose cone is that you don't have to do that. So I just decided to add a little short XT30 extension on there. Another thing, you probably can't see it in there, but I have my receiver. This is a FlySky receiver, but I also have voltage telemetry. So I have the external voltage telemetry module, which is just plugged into the PH 2.0 connector that you can see in there on the ESC. So that way I just have it in plain battery voltage, which is quite nice for knowing when to land. Now, one thing I do have to point out is that, at least with my setup, I did have to add a lot of nose weight. This is all clay, solid clay. I've got some barbecue skewers just to hold it in, but that's easily 50 grams of clay. So, unless you can really put that battery really far forward, you're going to need a lot of nose weight, because you do have the motor in the back, which is quite far from the CG. And now the last thing I want to talk about is, now that I got this nose cone off, I have actually made another nose cone. This is my Fbv Nose Cone. It's just got one of those all-in-one FPV cameras up at the front. And the cool thing about this is that it's just got a regular servo extension, and then there's one mounted here inside the fuselage. So when you put on the nose cone, it's just going to plug itself in, which is really nice, because that way I don't have any wires running outside of the plane and looking ugly, but also it could get snagged and stuff. This is just really nice and simple. It might not last for very long, so I'm not sure how many cycles these connectors are rated for, but it works okay for now. I've tested it quite a few times, and it actually works quite nicely. Okay, so those are all the major things that I wish to point out about my FG Mini Sparrow and some of the modifications that I've made to it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments or questions, put them down in the comment section below, and I'll see you later.